The things rich people don't spend their money on. Have you ever gone on a shopping spree and encountered wealthy people chilling in their pajamas as they make calls on their phones that seemed like they were bought years ago? Perhaps you have been so curious all along how somebody with so much riches could live such a humble life and save the majority of their income when they can buy things without looking at the price tag. Well, one thing that we realized after years of observing the lifestyle of the rich is that they have an entirely different mindset when it comes to spending money. Sure, almost everyone has a common goal of attaining financial security and boosting their incomes at heights beyond their needs, but despite having the same goals, it's the system and processes that leads people to various outcomes. While most people wanting to be rich spend their money on useless things to build an image, the wealthy people couldn't care more as long as they use their money wisely and triple it from what they initially received. Welcome back to Independent Luxury, where we give you a peek of the luxurious life you wish to live. In today's video, we will be comparing the spending patterns of the rich from those who could only dream to be rich, and how the wealthy utilize their money and luxury without compromising fun. One thing that is obviously different from the rich and poor-minded people is their concern for their lifestyle. If someone wanting to look rich was able to win the lottery or perhaps got their very first bonus, they suddenly get this impulse feeling of buying a new car to impress the people around them. It's also common to see them spending all their money without limit on expensive dinners, or maybe on a luxurious movie place. On the other hand, you can see a lot of rich people rely on their old cars for transportation or riding on a public bus to get to their destination to save money. They don't need to show off their wealth for such things because they know to themselves in the first place that they were done proving themselves. Well, more than just lifestyle, we can also see it in the way they dress. While most wealthy people you see are dressed in a common shirt and shorts that they bought a long time ago, rich wannabes bombard themselves with designer outfits even though it's beyond their means, just to look like they have all the wealth to spoil themselves. Yikes! Confidence is what, after all, you should take note of. When it comes to food, poor-minded people usually order large expensive meals, even leading their income to a complete zero just to taste those extravagant greasy burgers and pizzas and salty crispy fries. Observing the rich, you can see that they deeply focus on health and budget-friendly foods, even when it's kind of bland. They know what's best for their health and what foods would help to keep their minds working. After all, they say that health is wealth. This way, you may be able to increase your immunity and you won't have to keep on spending maintenance on hospital bills. What else do you think are the things that rich people do not spend their money on? That's right, gadgets. You can see people fancy the new models of iPhone upon constantly seeing endless advertisements about it. Most of us will probably go to the extent of loaning or using up our credit cards to buy the newest models of laptop and phones even when our old ones are still performing well. Who's guilty of that? Well, why do we even do it? Aside from wanting to experience the newest features that would definitely make our lives even more comfortable, it would make us seem trendy and rich. Don't you think so? Well, not for some of the wealthy people, because you would see a lot of them using their usual phones and laptops for consecutive years. This is to save their money for important things instead and to utilize their gadget's function and battery life. This does not only help with your finances, it also helps in saving the environment. How do we actually get to the wealthy path? It's not just pure luck, and that's what a lot of people dreaming to be rich fail to realize. Often, they try to rely on hopeful thinking and spend their money on fortune tellers or psychics to tell them what lies ahead of them, or what are these superstitious traditions that they follow to attract wealth. They also spend their money on lotteries, and bets for instant cash, which is quite a risky move considering how small the chances are. You know what the advice of the wealthy people is when it comes to things like this? You should be making your decisions backed with evidence, research, and analysis, because otherwise, you're betting your money on a small percentage of chance and you will even end up wasting it. The thing is, you can clearly see the difference between the mindset of the rich and those who could only dream of it. And it's not even limited to little things, such as those mentioned before, because even the choices to purchase estate and properties are very much comparable. When we see villas, penthouses, and mansions, we often get the urge to purchase those. We even get large amounts of loans that's beyond our living expenses just to experience the life of luxury. The thing is, there's no concrete plan. People buy for the sake of image and comfort without thinking that they have to pay the loan for the rest of their lives. But for the rich, they choose to buy homes comfortable enough that are just within their budget. They even buy old and cheap buildings, renovate it, and invest on it to bring it back to life. They don't just live on those buildings, but also make sure that they utilize them to earn as much as what they have paid. That's just insanely smart. So you might ask, are rich people just insanely smart to think of strategies like those and spend their money wisely? A lot of you might think it must be due to those trainings where people pay to get advice and specific coaching to develop a mind with expertise in business. Not really. Spending your money after seeing advertisements of financial advice and training that went on sale is a waste of money. Imagine how many people bought those promos, but a few to none of those people never got rich. And it's only the creators of those programs who are actually benefiting from it. So, in this case, what should a person do to become rich? Like those wealthy and successful people, you should spend your energy and time working really hard and excelling in your job, because there's never really a shortcut. All these successful people you see also worked their bones off to reach where they are today. Famous names like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg should be your inspiration to work hard. Now, we've talked about the things that should not be spent on, and we've also discussed the spending patterns of rich and poor-minded people on certain things. It might get you thinking, if poor-minded people want to spend their money so much beyond their means, where do they get so much funds? Aside from spending all their salary, they also, of course, get lots of loans, and that's one thing you might want to avoid if you want to be rich. Debts are so dangerous, and it brings a person into an endless cycle, which can cause one to be in misery, especially when they keep spending it on unnecessary things. Rich people always try to avoid debts and any kind of borrowed money, and try to save instead to be able to buy their wants. Well, you now have seen people with the same goals achieve different outcomes because of their difference in their systems, processes, and mindsets. So, do you also spend your money carelessly? Or do you have a wealthy man's mindset? Let us know in the comments! Don't forget to click that subscribe button and make sure to tune in for more videos like this. Again, this is Independent Luxury, where we give you a peek of the luxurious life you wish to live. See you next time!